And welcome to this video. In this video, I would like to show you how you can write an amazing product description. So when you want to write a product description for your Facebook Marketplace product, there are a couple of things that you need to look out for. And I prepared for you one worksheet. You can download this worksheet in the right lower corner. Just click then on download resources and you will have this page right on your desktop. So first of all, what we want to do is you want to look at the step-by-step process. So altogether, it's 6 steps in order to write a great product description. The first one is defining your buyer persona and interacting with them, then features, benefits, mode of expression, proof, and then call to action. Now, first of all, what we want to do is we want to start with defining your buyer persona and interacting with them. Now, in this course, we already talked about defining a buyer persona, but when we write a product description, we first of all want to appeal to the customer. So we basically want to, for instance, ask the customer certain questions which the customer himself has to answer. So who exactly is your customer? That is the first question. Is it, for instance, 25-year-old males? Is it people that are aged from 20 to 40? Is it people who only live in the United States? Is it people that perhaps have as an interest Game of Thrones? What exactly are you looking for? What kind of people should buy your product? So the first thing that you want to do is you always want to interact and engage with the people who could potentially buy your product. So you want to basically have something that people read and then they say, oh, this is something that interests me. So for instance, if you are having a MacBook Pro and you encountered that your MacBook Pro got slower and slower all the time. And to be honest, for everyone who has a MacBook, that happens after, let's say, 2 years, 2.5 years, sometimes even earlier. And you cannot believe how slow it has gotten as soon as you buy a new one. But you already realize, okay, I have to do something about that. So for instance, a good question would be here, would you like to get your MacBook Pro to work 50% faster? So basically this as the first line of your product description, because then people look at that and they say, well, yes, of course, tell me more, kind of. And that is then one of the reasons why people like to read through the product description. So they see the product, for instance, it could be a certain service, it could be a certain software. And your promise is now that your Mac will get faster. So I think we all have seen these commercials for instance, Mac Cleaner. So basically a software which helps the Mac to become more fast. But right now, the one thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that everyone who reads the description has kind of that one idea in their mind, okay, this could actually help me. So in the beginning, when you define your buyer persona, or when you want to interact with your customers, you always want to ask a question. So are you looking for ... Would you like to ... And in this example now, it would be, would you like to get your MacBook Pro to work 50% faster? Then number 2, features. So first of all, what we're going to talk about is the objective reality. So what exactly does the product do? So what you should say is, of course, what the product does, but you should not say what the product does not do or what the product is not good at doing. So there's a very special differentiation here because we want to be objective, but objective in the sense that we only kind of look at the features with which we can sell our product. So for instance, if you say, this Mac Cleaner helps the computer to get 50% faster, then this is an amazing argument. People say, well, I want my computer to be faster. But when you say, okay, this only helps for 1 month and afterwards you need to buy the premium version, well, then of course people are not going to download. So what you want to do is you want to be objective about what is positive about the product, and you want to basically name all the features that help the customer to do something. So how does it make your potential customer's life easier? So which kind of functions does it have? When or how do they work? So it's quite important to really state when exactly this function works, to be objective about what kind of functions are positive, to not name the things that are negative about the product, and really try to sell on the idea that people are looking for a certain thing that they want to be changed. So for instance, they are looking basically for a product which helps them to make their Mac faster. So that's how we target people. We only look for people who are looking for our product. So how to do that, I will show you later in this course. So for instance, how to do Facebook ads and so on. But this is one concept that we have to keep in our mind. Then number 3, the benefits. How does this product help you in your daily life? And then 3.2, how does each function make a certain aspect of your work or your life easier? So let's talk about the first one. How does this product help you in your daily life? So really, what change does it make? How is it changing your life? When do you use this product, or when should you use this product in order to make your life or your work easier? And I would really focus down on every function. So I would explain what the functions are, and then I would say how they would help you, or how they would help the potential customer to make his or her life easier. So then number 4, mode of expression. So the one thing that we also have to think about is, of course, how do we want to sound? So I can always give you as an advice, for instance, on Facebook Marketplace, you should rather sound a little bit moderate. You don't want to sound too like a corporate company, let's say. You don't want to sound too laissez-faire, because that seems a little bit unprofessional. You just want to be normal. So what you want to do is you want to, write in a moderate way, so not too corporate sounding, not too laissez-faire sounding, and you don't want to be modest, but you don't also want to be bragging. You want to be as objective as possible about the product, but you want to make sure that you especially or only name the positive aspects about the product. Now, should you tell the truth when people ask about, let's say, one of the negative features or negative functions that could be associated with the product? Yes, you should definitely in this case be honest and say, okay, for instance, right, this product has a premium version, or this product doesn't work in this or that instance. So then proof. Is there any proof that your product really works? Now, is there, for instance, a person that can say, well, I used this product and it really made my Mac 50% more fast? Then number 2, other people who could comment on your product. So basically give a recommendation. Why are they recommending it? Does it really work for them? How do they feel about the company? All of these things. And of course, you can ask people. You can ask people to do that for you. So for instance, all the time I get asked by other professionals, by other people in my industry, whether I could give them a shout out or just simply give their company a recommendation. And I like to do that because in the end, it also pushes my brand. But normal people, everyday people who use your product should also try to give you some recommendations. You should basically ask these people, okay, are you happy with the product? Could you give me a short recommendation? And then you can take this recommendation and put it in the product description. Now, of course, the unethical way would be to just simply come up with them. It's not the nice way to do it. I wouldn't do it, but it is a possibility. Let's say it that way. Then 5.3, is there any news report, or are there respectable people who trust your product? Again, it is quite difficult to define who respectable people are, but I think you know what I mean. For instance, if you're selling a marketing product, a marketing online academy where you sell, for instance, a video course where people learn how to, let's say, do marketing, then of course it would make sense to call someone who is very famous in marketing and to actually let that person say, well, the product that person XY, or in this case me, is selling is a good product, and here's why. And then basically the person tells, okay, this product is good because ... Then number 5.3, is there a news report or any respectable people who trust your product? Again, I want to talk about that because news reports are also something that's quite important, because let's be frank, for instance, if there are good YouTube videos about your product, people using it or people recommending it, I would put it on the website. Then number 6, call to action. 6.1, make sure that people understand that this offer won't last forever. It's always important that people have kind of that feeling, okay, if I don't buy this product, then I actually lose something. And if I don't buy now, this product could become more expensive and then I would be wasting money. So what we want to do is we want to work with concepts like scarcity to make people decide. For instance, if you sell tickets online, it makes sense to say, well, there are only 2 tickets left. So buy right now. This offer probably won't last for the next 24 hours. In 24 hours, these 2 tickets will definitely be gone. So now I give you a 50% discount, buy it now. So kind of that kind of thinking. So in the end, what we want to do, and this is now the overall goal, we want to make sure that people feel confident when they buy. They have to be confident when they buy our product. They should have the opinion that your product will help them. So make sure that the value of your product is always higher than the price. And this is the one recommendation that I give to all of my students, to everyone that I'm coaching. When you sell a product, you want to make sure that the price of the product is always lower than the value. Why? Because in the end, if you sell a product which is of lower value than the price, then people feel like they pay too much money. But when the price is lower than the actual value of the product, then of course people say, well, this is an amazing product, but I only paid so little. That was a great deal, and they have no negative feelings about the people or the company behind it. So these were now the 6 steps how you can write a great product description. Again, you can download this paper by just simply going in the right lower corner and then click on download resources. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see each other in the next video.